Hello friends, hello, welcome back to our little coffee club. Again with a morning brew. Whenever you see me with the hoodie, it's most likely a morning brew because it's always freezing in here in the mornings. But anyway, I thought today that I would get up to an early start in order to maybe show you guys, a long-term storage for your coffee beans. So let's say you end up with the situation like I have right now, where I have 3 bags of the same coffee. And reason for that is, if you've been watching the videos, you already know. But, this coffee I ordered recently from Good Brothers, and it turned out to be like my favorite coffee ever. I mean, the more I have it, the more I see flavors in it, the more I see that it has a lot of depth of flavors. It has brightness and acidity. But for what I like, it's perfectly balanced with just the right level of sweetness. It's very sweet coffee and just a lot of flavor. Well, I don't know if it has something, I've said it before, I think maybe it has something to do with that thermical processing that they did, or in a previous video when I reviewed it, I spoke about that and I read to you guys what that thermical processing was all about. It's an experimental processing where they ferment the cherries in water for a few days or something like that. So, but anyway, that's already up on the channel. Maybe the variety of flavors in this coffee maybe has something to do with that. I don't know, I'm gonna keep looking into it. I first ordered it because it's a Costa Rican, and I remember a while back having Costa Rican coffee. It was a single origin from Canopy, another coffee roaster, and it was wonderful. It was citrusy, nice brightness and acidity, but well balanced with the sweetness. Now this one took it to just another level. This went to just another level. I would not call this at all citrusy. It's a lot fruitier. In the case of the Canopy one, it was a lot more citrusy. So, maybe it has something to do with that thermical processing. I don't know. They call it thermical fermentation. So thermical fermentation is the way they process the cherries in the water. But anyway, let me report back to you guys on another couple of coffees before we keep going here. All right, so yeah, I have a lot of coffee on this channel right now, guys. So join us here. If it's your first time running into one of my videos, we'd love to have you here. Join us here in our little coffee club. Subscribe to the channel. Anyway, so I want to report back on this one. So I've brewed this already a few more times, and I can't get it any sweeter. This is just extremely bright and citrusy coffee. How did they come up with the tasting notes here? I have no clue. This makes no sense to me. I wish somebody out there would try this one and let me know what you get out of it. But I've already brewed it. It's slower, faster, different brewing methods. I did it on the origami, on the triplet, as espresso. It's just always very bright, very citrusy. So how did they come up with these tasting notes? I don't know. There is a sweetness to it, but it's okay. For the tasting profiles that I like, this is great. But this is on a different level because it's just way sweeter and fruitier. This one's not citrusy. This one is, to me, a whole bunch. So, all right, let me just read the tasting notes of this bag. I don't know how they came up with this, but it says dragon fruit, red fruit, which I Googled it, and red fruit is just like any fruit that's red. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. How is that a tasting note? Okay, dragon fruit, red fruit, and papaya. Okay, so there is a sweetness. We can attribute that to the papaya. Dragon fruit to me tastes like kiwi, so I don't see how you get that from this. To me, and you know what? I wrote it down. Let me get my notes on this coffee. Again, guys, my videos, we just kind of like hang out, make coffee, talk about coffee things. So, I had never stored coffee for long term. I just would go through my coffee like in a month. But now that I'm making all these videos, I end up with a lot of coffee. I might have to start storing these coffees. I don't want them to start getting stale or not being at their best. So my understanding is from the research I've done that the best way to do that is to vacuum seal portion it out into maybe 100 grams, 200 grams, something like that. Then vacuum seal the coffee and store it in the freezer. And then when you're ready to use it, you take it out of the freezer, you let it thaw out overnight, in the regular refrigerator, and the next day it won't have any humidity or anything like that, which is why you want to vacuum seal it. You don't want any air in there so that it doesn't have any humidity and starts to mess up your beans. So that's the process. I understand that's the best way of doing it. So we're gonna find out. Okay, today we're gonna open one of these. My plan is to pull an Americano in a few seconds. I still haven't tried it as an Americano. By the way, this coffee did not end up being like a standout coffee as far as espresso for me. It's fine, but it's not like something that'll blow you away. So I'm talking about as pour over. As pour over, this ended up being like my favorite coffee ever. So that's why I didn't want it to run out. I grabbed me a few bags. Today I'm gonna open one. I'm gonna try to make an Americano. I've never dialed it in for the Bianca. And so far we haven't had to dial anything in for the Bianca. It just always works. I can always get the right pressure and I always end up with a good shot. Sometimes better, sometimes a little bit worse, but all of them have been drinkable except for one where I think it was just my own puck prep that I didn't, maybe didn't do the puck prep properly and the puck fell apart and the coffee channeled and it was really fast and undrinkable. All the other shots have been perfectly fine. So today I'm gonna open one of these, try to make an Americano in the Bianca and see if we get it from the get-go, from the very first try again. If not, we'll try to dial it in, but it'll be the very first one that we actually have to dial in. And then after that, we'll see if we'll seal one of these little bags and see how this works. I still haven't even tried it because my plan is to portion it out and store it in the freezer. So, as we move forward with all these coffee videos and we find new coffees to try, and I'm sure we'll have a contender to put up against this. As a matter of fact, that's why I brought out the Ritual. The Ritual, and again, this is in one of my little Utmost, I still have a little bit left, but it's in one of my little Utmost canisters to hold it for freshness. This bag was not great. So, but this coffee from Ritual turned out to be really good. This is, right now from the ones I have, is the closest contender to this. This is still on a different level. But if I had to pick one, the closest one to this, it would be this one. This Ritual coffee was wonderful. And as a matter of fact, as espresso, I kind of like this one better. We'll see what we get out of it today on the Bianca, but this Ritual coffee, wow, don't sleep on that. Take a look. I already reviewed it. So I think it was either the video before or 2 videos back, something like that. So it's a recent video. It's still, check it out if you haven't seen it. So just reporting back on this, again, I just keep getting very citrusy, a lot of brightness, a lot of acidity. If you're one of these people that are like acidity freaks, this is the one. It's a punch in the face, a lot of flavor here. You won't be disappointed. But again, this is just way better for me. It's fruity instead of citrusy and way sweeter. And it has acidity and brightness, but in a different level. And it's just awesome. Anyway, today we'll open the bag and do an Americano. Now here's another thing I was talking to you guys about in a previous video about Good Brothers having the smaller little bags for like samplers. So we have a couple little samplers. I'm gonna leave these sealed until we're ready to try them out. We'll open them here on our little coffee club and we'll try them out like we always do. But we have an Ethiopia. It says Ethiopia Taru. I'm not sure about that word. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it here on the screen. And the tasting, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm not gonna go back to that bag because you guys know that I always like to guess at the tasting notes. So I don't read them. I almost did. I don't read them. I stay away from the tasting notes. And then when we make it, when we first brew it in the channel, I guess at them and see what I get out of it. Again, with this one, I was completely, usually I'm kind of close, but with this one, I was completely off. I didn't get any of these tasting notes. To me, it's very citrus forward. Oh, and that's why, I wanted to read my notes as to what I got from this, okay? Because I keep notes so I can report back to you guys. So let me get that from my phone. All right, so here are my notes on this coffee. Okay, so this is the Good Brothers Colombia Finca Las Flores. So on the niche, I was somewhere around 8.5. So that's very fine. I think that's as fine as I've ground any coffee on the niche for, I think for anything. I don't remember. This is extremely fine. And still, I slowed it down. I got a You know, I did the Slayer kind of profile that I've been trying to learn, and it's been working perfectly. So I did it just right on this one. It was like a minute brew time, and it's still, the coffee was still a lot of brightness and acidity, just like the very first one I made. It didn't make that much difference. On the origami, I was at 4.8, so you know, 48 clicks on the Easy Presso K Plus model that I always use for pour overs. And on the origami, that was a 6-minute brew time. That's almost double what I normally at on the origami, where I'm usually like 3.5 to 4. I was at 6 minutes. It was still very high acidity, a lot of brightness, very citrusy. So if I had to write the tasting notes for this coffee, if it would have been me, this is what I would have written, okay? So high acidity and brightness, obviously. Citrusy. I would attribute that citrus flavor to grapefruit. Okay, you also get like a dry wine type of flavors. Maybe like a dry white wine that's in the background there somewhere. Very punchy, high in flavor, so you're gonna have a lot of flavor. It's not one of those kind of like a geisha that's very gentle in its flavor profile. You know, this is a smack on the face. So very punchy, high in flavor. You know what? The one from Indonesia, the one that turned out to be like very challenging to dial in as espresso, that's also already did a couple videos on it on the channel. That coffee was a lot like this one, I have to say. Okay, let's see if I wrote anything else. There's something there. Okay, so yeah, punchy, high in flavor with a high orange aroma. That's right. So I remember when I first brewed it and I was smelling the coffee, there's a lot of citrus aroma, like orange. I claimed it orange, but maybe again grapefruit. So if I had to describe the tasting notes here on this coffee, that's what I would have gone with. That's what I've been able to do with it so far. If I get anything else different in some other kind of way, I'll let you guys know, I'll report back. But other than that, I think we're pretty much done with the ritual. Again, don't sleep on that one, it's great. If they still have it on their website, check it out. And this one from Good Brothers, if you like a lot of acidity and brightness and a very punchy coffee, maybe this will be perfect for you. So again, we have a couple of new tasting ones here. Let me not read the tasting notes, but this is the letters are like super big. I still can't read them. Okay, hold on. Sorry guys, but my eyesight you know what, to drive, I still don't use glasses. I can see perfectly from far, but to read is getting like pretty bad. Okay, so Congo, whatever this is, I think HIVU, Evu? Man, I always get in trouble with these, names that I can't read. I think I got the Bourbon. I'm still practicing that one. I think I have it, but you guys let me know. All right, so we got 2 new ones to play with. We'll open those on a different video. And again, I'm pretty much done reporting on these 2. This, you guys know how I feel about it. I've repeatedly said it. So let's open a bag, get to the other counter. Let's try to see if we can pull an Americano. And then I'll try to seal at least one of these little bags. So here's the little machine. Again, this one is from Amazon. It was very cheap. It's like 25 bucks or something. I hope it works. And then there's like 100 of these bags. This is a lifetime supply for me. This is never gonna run out. So 100 bags, again, it's very cheap. It's like 5 bucks or something for 100. So we'll see. We'll try to use some. This was like the smallest one I found. Because again, I imagine this ending up like very small little thing. So we'll see. I'll also report back to you guys. I'll do one today on camera and then kind of report back to you guys as to like what I found to be like the best way of doing it. If it's maybe 100 grams or maybe 200 grams and how many little bags you get out of one of these bags of coffee. Let's see if this one, I know it's not a full pound. At least I don't think so. No, it's 12 ounces. So this one's 12 ounces, 340 grams. So maybe I split it to like put it into 3 bags. Or maybe today what I'll do is leave, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, maybe if they're 340 grams, I can probably portion this out into 3 bags. and kind of do it that way. So that makes sense. So let's open one up and let's try our first Americano on the Bianca. This will be the very first one. So let's try our first Americano on the Bianca and see what we get from it as far as an Americano. I can't imagine it being as good as what I've been getting from the filtered. Filters just like, wow, with this coffee is just next level. Anyway, let's go to the other counter. All right, so let's get this bag open. Now, Good Brothers always has the little tab, so their bags are extremely easy to open. And they're also very high quality. They have a Ziploc, so you can keep your beans in here. I would say if it's gonna be, I don't know, a month and a half, you should be perfectly fine just keeping it in this bag. You don't need anything better. And these bags are very good quality. So let's dose out our 18 grams. Of course, guys, we always check retention on this channel. At least when we're on the niche or some kind of electric grinder, we're always checking retention. Even on the hand grinder, I'm gonna check every now and then so you guys I could prove to you guys over and over that there is no such thing as retention on the K+. Whatever you put in is what you get out. But on the niche, we always check it. Okay, so those are our 18 grams. Okay, we're a little bit over. Okay, 18. It was kind of bouncing a little bit between 17.9 and 18, so 18 grams. Let's see what we get out. Sometimes you gotta let it run because we got some beans that are fighting in there. All right, let's see what we got. Holy cow, yeah, we got some beans stuck in there. I kind of heard them. We've never been off by that much. That's 0.6. The most I had been off before, I think it was 0.4. I don't think I've ever been half a gram off. But I do have something to show you guys. All right, Iceman, I'm not sure if you're still watching the videos, but here it is. You know, you told me to get one, so today it's needed. It's needed. Let's see what happens. So if you guys don't know, you know, you could use one of these little plungers to kind of like use it like a bellows on your niche. Let's try again. You know what? I didn't feel that doing anything. Let me run it a little bit more. Wow, we might actually have to run a few extra beans. Okay, but here's the thing. You guys know how I like it neat and tidy, right? So I use that thing like a bellows, but now I have a little bit of dust everywhere that I'm gonna, you know, I didn't feel that. I don't know how I feel about that. But let's see if it worked. Well, we got a little bit more out, but not much. We're still off. So I'm gonna have to run an extra bean, and our machine timed out. So on the Bianca, you just bring the lever up and put it back down and it'll start up again. Wow, the machine actually cooled down quite a bit. Oh, everything's really hot, but the temperature over there, you could see now is heating back up. Again, I have to change the whole thing so that it doesn't time out so quickly. I just haven't had time to get into that. I'm gonna grind a couple more beans and make sure that we're at 18 grams. Give me a second. Okay, wow. Perfectly at 18 now. All right, I think it's focused there. So I think we're exactly at 18. And we're ready to go. Let's do some puck prep. Again, this is the most retention I've ever gotten from the niche, and I've been using it now for quite a while. So you know what? Maybe it's time we do a cleaning on it. So I think, I don't know if I'm gonna make a video about that because everybody knows how to, there's tons of videos on how to clean the niche online. So as a matter of fact, I'll watch one of those and so that I could see how it's done. I know it's pretty easy. So, but maybe it's time we do a cleaning. All right, let's do some puck prep. Make sure the bag is closed. Okay, now that gives you a nice seal. So I don't mind keeping my beans in there long term, at least for like a month and a half. Okay, so I don't know how I feel about this thing because, again, you guys saw it's a little bit messy, right? You do like bellows on there and then you have like little coffee dust everywhere. I'm not sure if, I don't know. We'll keep experimenting. I'll report back. But I do have it now. I do have it. You know, I live in Miami and here in Florida it's so humid that we don't have a lot of static issues or things like that. And so I don't know. We'll see. You guys know I've been always now doing a little WDT before I put it into the into the filter basket, and then I do it again in the filter basket. But kind of like, why not? It's quick and easy, and just it's already declumped. So now when you put it in there, all you gotta do is kind of move it around and make sure it's distributed properly. I got that from someone. And I've been trying it, and it seems to work. So why not? It's easy. Okay, this is perfectly dry. Again, the machine has been on. I think it timed out already twice on me, so it's been on for like an hour. Okay, give myself some room, and now we are ready here. Not sure if I said it, but the niche is set at 11, and that's what I was using for the previous coffee to this one, and it's what I'm gonna start with this one. So we'll see what we get at 11. Again, so WDT, just kind of start at the bottom, making circles, and work your way up. Take your time. At the end, just kind of make sure it's evenly distributed everywhere. And so far, besides the one shot that I told you guys that I messed up, I mean, everything on the Bianca so far, it's just worked. Maybe there's something to that pressure profiling or flow control or whatever. At the end of the day, I don't even get it because it's the same outcome, right? You are controlling the pressure at the puck, and that's what really matters. So whether you're controlling the pressure at the pump or whatever, as long as you have the right pressure that you want at the puck, that's the main thing. That's what really matters. So how you got there, if it was with the needle valve and the flow control or with some kind of controlling the pressure at the pump, it's still the same end result. So I don't even see, I don't get it. I don't see why that's an issue, or even people even talk about that. All right, so now we're gonna tamp again. I haven't gotten a distributor, and you guys know how I feel about that. I don't even think they do much. I don't think they do maybe anything at all, to be honest. But it's just one of those cool tools, right? You wanna have it, you wanna spin it, it's just kinda cool. It does kind of distribute the top of the puck. I don't know exactly how much that's gonna like penetrate on there and really like make sure that everything's even. I don't think that works like that. I think it's just kind of like on the top, but I could be all wrong. I don't know. You guys comment below, let me know. Again, here in our little coffee club, we learn together. Okay, this is a team. I learn from you guys, and maybe you guys pick something new up from me. Well, this tamper is just so much easier for me to use. I told you guys from the get-go, the very first time I tried it, it was just like so different. So I see that, I still use my 4 points here just with my hands. I kind of give myself 4 points just to kind of feel and make sure that it's even everywhere. Yeah, a little polish at the end. Perfect. Beautiful puck prep. That is nice. Okay, then I use the puck screen, and I just want to keep the machine clean. I don't want the coffee to get stuck to the shower screen and then start getting the machine all dirty. So it's just basically for that. I don't think it does anything to the actual shot, but basically just to help keep your machine clean. So let's lock it in. And wow, let's see if we get another good Slayer shot here for you guys. I really took like a fish to water with that. And I'm gonna try to, oh, another thing, I didn't mention it, but you know, that video's not up yet. I'm filming this one before the other one's even up. So I wonder what you guys are gonna think about the camera angle on the, you know, on the pressure gauge, because I needed to set up like different cameras in order to give you that angle. And when I put the video together, I think it came out pretty good. I think it's moving forward. That's the way to do it, because I want you guys to be able to see everything that's going on. So, you know, I kind of need those two angles. So we're gonna try that again today. All right, so we're all set. Again, I'm not gonna go through all the details as to this Slayer shot. If you guys want to know more about that, comment, but I already touched on it on a couple of videos, and today we have a lot to cover. So, but you guys can see all the gauges. Let's hope the scale works with us. Again, we start with the paddle at 5 o'clock like you see it there. Okay, so as soon as I hit the lever, the shot timer will start. And we're looking for somewhere between 20 to 30 seconds of pre-infusion, and then 20 to 30 seconds of actual brew time. So the whole entire shot over here will read somewhere around a minute. This one should read somewhere around 30 seconds. Proper Slayer shot, you know, anywhere between, I would say, 20 and 20, and maybe even up to like 40 and 40. You're still kind of within the range. So it just depends on the coffee and what you're trying to do and how you want to dial it in, and you know, a bunch of factors that are particular to you. So, all right, let's see. As soon as it starts building pressure, that's right, I have to use the other hand. As soon as it starts to build pressure, you kind of have to start working the paddle so it doesn't go too fast, and then kind of level it off between 2 and 3 bars. So right there, we're just under 3 bars. We still don't have any drips, and that's okay. As soon as I hit 30 seconds, I'm gonna ramp up to 9 bars. So here we go. Okay, we're at 30 seconds. We're getting our first few drips. Okay, now we ramp up to 9 bars. I overshot it a little bit, but as you can see, it's very easy to control. Get it right back to where you need to be. I'm at 9 bars. Okay, so now we look for the yield. As soon as we have somewhere around 45, I usually like to go 45 to as much as like 52 grams, something like that. Then we stop it. So I'm gonna try to stop it right around maybe 48 today. We're gonna make an Americano, so. But I do want to taste the shot. Okay, we're at 43. Okay, wow, we got it spot on, guys. Spot on, 48 seconds. Brew time was 36. We ended up with a total brewing time of 67. This is picture perfect. This is how you want to pull a Slayer shot, and a proper Slayer shot. And now it's just a matter of taste. Depending on the taste, you might want to speed it up, you might want to slow it down, and then you start working with whatever it is you want. But as you could see on the Bianca, it's every single shot so far. It's just, you can just do what you want. I haven't ruined a single one. I've been able, you know, I'm gonna end up saving the money on the Bianca through the years over just saving coffee. Cause it's just, I got so many more like good shots. I remember on the infuser, sometimes, you know, on your second try, your third try, some coffees you never even get them to like where you want them, you know. On the Bianca so far, it is so much easier. I am so surprised. But let's taste it and let's see. Let's go back to the other counter and then we'll work on making that Americano. All right, so here it is. Let's give it a nice stir. Let's see what we got from this Good Brothers today. First time on the Bianca. I already had it as espresso a couple times, but it was always from the infuser. Wow, that Slayer shot worked out better than I was even imagining. Maybe I should have called this video like how to pull the proper Slayer shot on the Bianca or something like that, because it worked out picture perfect. Cheers. All right, this is the best espresso I've gotten so far from this coffee. Let me give it another taste. You know, with this one, Part of the enjoyment, it's the aroma. Again, another coffee with very nice aroma. Very smells very good, very good. As far as espresso, you lose a lot of the sweetness that you get from the pour overs. So that's the only thing I can say. This coffee, I like to brew it kind of longer. You guys know that my preference is always for like the longer extractions. I like to get the coffee sweeter. I like the brightness and acidity, but I want that balance where you have a lot of sweetness too. So as espresso, it just doesn't have the same level of sweetness. You do have some, but it's not the same. It's not the same balance that you end up with as a pour over, which to me is just perfect. It just couldn't be any better. But again, this is the best shot I've gotten from it so far. Excellent. Okay, so you saw the extraction time. I mean, how am I don't know, a 2-minute shot time for an espresso? That's, this is about as long as you could go, and it still has a lot of brightness and acidity. There's no bitterness here whatsoever. Okay, there's no bitterness at all. As a matter of fact, I would push this still, maybe, and try another 10-15 more seconds and see what happens, Until you start getting that bitterness, then that's when you know you went too far. You pushed it too far, and now the coffee is just getting over extracted and bitter, kind of burnt flavors. You don't want that. But I don't have any of that here. I could probably try to push it still a little bit more. But again, I don't want to drink it like this. I would, but I'm not going to, because I want to make an Americano. So let me see what the ratio is for an Americano. All right, so Google says it's a 1-to-4. I don't know, what do you guys do for your Americano? I'm just gonna fill it maybe to like about halfway and taste it. I'll taste it a few times until it's right, and then I'll come back here and we'll keep chit-chatting. All right, so I just got a little bit of water from the espresso machine. And let's see what kind of, now this is gonna be very hot, that's the thing. Wow, even the spoon got really hot. Again, still that nice aroma. Okay, strength-wise seems to be about right. I could add maybe a touch more water, maybe. Okay, this time I'll grab a clip for you guys. I mean, it's not a lot to the water spout on the, the machine, but let me set up the camera. Or I'll just get it with my phone. Okay, let's just get a little bit more water in there. So pretty easy to control. And again, I told you guys about the noise. Like, I always thought that maybe it's because the water's coming down with pressure, but it's really not. There's no pressure to it. These things these are cool touch. So the steam one and also the water one, they don't get too hot, so you could still touch them. Now all of this other stuff, this is all burning hot, so you gotta be careful to touch the group head, or even the Pura filter gets extremely hot. All right, so I just wanna hang out, keep you guys company for a little while, and you guys keep enjoying these coffee videos. We keep making them. We learn together. We discover new roasters out there. Okay, so let's see now. Is it spot on? Well, it's perfectly fine. I don't know if it's spot on. Again, I'm not so familiar with Americanos. I've ordered them at cafes before. It is, if you would think you're gonna end up with something just like filter coffee, but it's really, I mean, it is something like that, but it's quite different still. It's not the same. When I make this on the triclet or on the origami, it definitely doesn't taste like this. it tastes better. I have to say, as filtered, is better. The espresso I get from this is perfectly fine, but just for me, there's some magical happen with the filter coffee. It's perfect for me. With this, it's perfectly fine, but it's not the same. I just gotta say. Let's just leave it at that. The aroma's there. You know, now the sweetness is starting to obviously get more balanced for me, because you're diluting that you know, that brightness, that strong brightness, and sometimes, and depending on the coffee, you know, you get a lot of brightness and acidity. This being, you know, this is like a medium roast, so I'm not sure why I'm getting so much brightness out of it. But definitely, when you do filtered, well, I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. Yeah, definitely some of the brightness now it's gone. So some of that acidity has kind of moved over to the sweeter side. And right now I think it did need a little more water. Right now is where I would like it. It's really good. It's really good. It's at the same like the filtered. I want to say that's still on the filtered. I don't know what it is, but maybe my ratio that I'm working it with or something is more exact where I need it to be for the flavors. I don't know. It's still a little bit better with filter, no doubt about it. Again, this Americano, I'll take it for sure anywhere. Yeah, wonderful. All right, so there you have it. Let's try to go ahead and seal one of these little bags and see how this thing works. I just want to do one right now and show you guys. And then probably what I'll do is I'll leave some of this out, maybe seal a couple of bags, and then just drink the rest of this throughout the next few days. I just keep going back to this one every now and then when I want something like extra special. So these two, I'm not even gonna open them yet. But when I do, I'm gonna do the same process. And I don't wanna wait too long either. At least maybe, you know what, maybe one of the bags, it'll be interesting to try this. Maybe one of the bags I'll do right away, where I'll store it in the freezer for long-term storage. And this one, maybe I'll just leave it in the sealed bag for a while. And then when I open it, taste it, see if I lost anything there at all. I'm getting pretty familiar now with this coffee, so I'll see if I lost anything there, maybe after a couple of months of leaving it in the bag, and report back to you guys. And then one day when we have something special out there that maybe could challenge this coffee, we'll do a head-to-head. I'll open one of those little frozen bags and we'll see what we get out of it. I've never tried that, so very first time. So let's just try to seal one and see what happens. All right, so I'm still enjoying the last of my coffee here. Now that it cooled down, it's like way sweeter. It's lost a lot of its brightness and acidity that you had on that, as far as just a straight espresso. So it changed a whole bunch now. Now it's a lot closer to what I had as filtered. Still, I don't know what it is, but as filtered, it's just a lot more interesting, and it's still better. It's still better. As an Americano, I would say that I still liked it better than just as a straight espresso. As a straight espresso is good, but again, well, I don't know how to explain it. It's just that it's so good as filtered. Okay. Anyway, let's see how this thing works. Now, these are the bags. Let me tell you the size. Okay, so again, these are like the smallest ones I was able to find. They're 6" by 10". Okay, and my understanding is that you need like a couple 2-3 inches here that you're gonna lose from when you put it in the machine, so it could vacuum it and seal it at the end. Okay, so let's portion out. Let's try it with 100 grams and see what it ends up looking like. So you guys comment below, how do you store your coffee for like really long term? You know, I had never had to do anything like this because I never have so much coffee on hand. I have usually maybe 2 bags, maybe even 3 bags, but they never end up lasting more than a month to at most, like, I don't know, a month and a half. And you know, have the Atmos containers that kind of give you a vacuum seal, and the coffee stays very fresh in there. If you have a good quality coffee bag like these, then again, you should be fine. But this time, again, we want to keep it really long term so that we can go back to it and compare versus newer coffees we're going to discover, where we might want to put them head to head and see if it's a challenger for this. So, okay, so let's see what 100 grams looks like in the niche cup. Okay, we're at 0. Another thing I want to report back on, I mean, if you've been watching all the videos, then you've noticed that the scale, since I got the Bianca, it has never failed so far. It's never failed. Every single time it measures the shot from first drip, it doesn't stop, it works just perfectly as intended. I don't know, but so far it hasn't failed us since we got the Bianca. Anyway, join us here in our coffee club, guys. There's a lot more interesting stuff coming, okay? There's a lot of more things that we have to talk about, so. All right, so 100 grams, they don't fit in the niche cup. You can get 50, so we'll do 50 and 50. All right, so we're right at 50. Let's see what that looks like in the bag. Okay, in the bag, you know, it's a good amount, but it's very little still. I think we can get another 50 in there. All right, so 50.1. We'll leave it like that. Okay, close my bag good. Okay, so now we're gonna have 100 grams in here. That's what it looks like. 100 grams in here. So I think that's just about right. So the bag size, that's 6 inch by 10 inch. If this is what you guys want to do, you know, with 100 grams, you can pull, you know, 5 shots. So you can do 5 pour overs. So this is plenty in order we have to revisit this and to compare head to head. This is, I think, the perfect amount. So I think I will leave it like this, 100 grams. And you guys saw that the whole bag is 340, so 10 ounces, 340 12 ounces, 340 grams. So, you know, with a little bit more in here, we would easily do, I guess, 3 bags for one of those. All right, let's see how this thing works. Okay, first of all, let me show it to you guys. This one, again, is from Amazon, Bosen Kitchen, whatever, VS 2100. Still got the instructions and stuff on here. Let's see. Now, it comes with this little folded cardboard. It says to always leave it in here. I think what they don't want is for you to sit it somewhere and something heavy goes on here and it closes the lid all the way. I think they don't want the lid closing all the way. So that's why this is to prevent that from happening. And, you know, I have no clue, but I think the whole reasoning behind it is that these spongy things, they probably, you know, they get damaged if they're pressed, like completely compressed for a long time. So that's why they have that little fold here so that they don't get compressed. And as a matter of fact, the machine brings one extra one. So in case you damage one of them, there is one replacement one that comes with the machine. So my understanding is, and again, I haven't used it, all I did was read the instructions. Put the camera down. Okay, right here, you guys should be able to see this perfectly. So I think what you do is the open part of the bag, you stick it in here like that. There's like 2 little tabs. You can press the bag up against it. Again, you're gonna need like 3 inches between this and where your food is at. In this case, the coffee beans. Because the seal is gonna happen right here over this strip, okay? So let's see how this works. All right, so Should I power it on first? Does it matter? Let's see. All right, I don't remember from the instructions, but I don't see a power button per se. So let's just put it in here. Maybe as soon as you close it down, it has a little switch or something and it powers on, or we'll see what happens. Okay, you click it down. You kind of have to press pretty hard, but you click it down on both sides, okay, on both ends. Let's see what happens here. Okay, we are doing dry. This is dry product. There's no, water or moisture in here. There's a setting for moist. Okay, there's a button for to vacuum, and then we have accessory. This is another little type of pump that came with it to make other vacuums, not with the bags. I don't know what it's used for. I'm not gonna use it that way. So, okay, so I guess we're gonna press dry. Okay, boy, it went right into vacuuming. Wow, that really works. This has really got all the air out, guys. If you're worried about this working properly, I think this is as proper as you're gonna get. And then now we do, well, the seal is on. It's the buttons, it's lit. So I'm not, yeah, it was already sealing. So it did it on its own. You just press dry, moist, or whether it's, your product is dry or moist, and then it's gonna do everything automatic. I didn't have to do anything. It already sealed it. So now you just press the 2 tabs, it pops open. Wow, perfect. There it is. Perfect seal. Look at how dry this is. It has no air in there. This worked very, very well. I'm impressed. I mean, for like 25 bucks, I didn't expect this much from it. But in the little bags, obviously they're like good quality, and again, they're only like $5. This whole setup's like 30 bucks. And if it helps to keep your coffee long-term, I mean, if you have a real expensive coffee, then for sure it's gonna be worth it. This one is not. It's really not an expensive coffee, but it's freaking great. It's the best I've ever had. You guys have seen here on the channel. Look through my videos if you haven't seen them all. We've made some expensive coffees, and they have not been even close to as good as this one. So, all right. So there it is. That's how it works. I wonder, since I got such a good Slayer shot from the machine today, I wonder if I'm gonna call this like something about, the perfect Slayer shot, or I don't know, who knows. Or maybe about, I started making the video about this, but hey, if not, you guys got a bonus either way, right? You guys saw like a really perfectly made Slayer shot on the Bianca, but you also saw a perfect sealed bag. So hey, consider it a bonus. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go right here. This video is gonna end up being a monstrosity, probably like over an hour long, like all my other ones. I'm gonna have my last couple little sips of my coffee, which is still warm. It's still warm. I'll enjoy that. And I'll catch back up with you guys. I've never finished a video like this, so hey. Anyway, you guys know I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I really do. I love it when you guys leave me comments. Carrie, shout out to Carrie. She's the most faithful one. She's there every weekend saying hello, and I really appreciate you, Carrie, for doing that. It means a whole bunch. Angel, thank you, Angel, for your comments. Jesse, you're the one that kind of started this whole thing. I mean, after after I heard from Jesse, then I kept making these long videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to keep you company here for a little while. And maybe you learned something. Maybe this helps you in some way. Leave me a comment. Please join us here in our little coffee club. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Give the video a like, and I'll see you guys next week.